It's Greg and Joel Fix the World. Because if you haven't heard, guys don't hang out anymore, they start a podcast. While they're at it, they're fixing the world and solving every problem you've ever had. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to Greg and Joel Fix the World.
Hey.
I'm Greg.
I'm Joel. I already stepped on your toes.
No,
there.
it's good. It's good. So I have an important question for you today. I'd like to think they all are. So this is the question I'd like you to consider.
All right.
Ponder.
Let's just remind everyone, I don't know what this question is going to be.
Right.
I've not prepared. I don't know.
You do not know. So I would like to ask you, what is a position or belief or idea that you used to hold really close and dear that you've changed your mind about? And while you're thinking, I want to tell you why I think this is such an important question. Because, as you know, we have set out to fix the world.
Yeah.
And by the way, did we set ourselves up to fail? That was a bit of a... Some might argue that's a lofty ambition.
No one else is trying that.
Yeah.
So why not us?
And what's the metric? Like, how will we know if we've done it? Like,
We'll know.
Will we know?
Yeah.
Like, one thing we've already done, like we both agreed, not enough podcasts out there. Check. We've added one more. But I do believe when it comes to meaningful change, a problem that often happens is people dig into their ideas. They know they're right, but you could have the experience of knowing you're right about something and then realizing after the fact, maybe I wasn't right. And then, no, I was wrong about that. Or not necessarily wrong, but for whatever reason, I was defending something really important to me, and I don't hold that position anymore. So I think that kind of process of changing what one thinks is fundamental if we're going to have real dialogue in the world to fixing it. So no pressure.
No pressure.
But I think what you're about to answer is hugely important in terms of our ability to fix the world. So there you have it.
All right. Well, I will say that when you started off and said what position, I was all ready to say missionary, but I didn't. I'm
glad you didn't.
Yeah. Then you kept going. So
yeah.
I won't say that. So the question, I got to make sure I have it correct. A position I've had in the past that I was sure is correct, but now
or just anything that you've changed your mind about. Like years ago, you would have argued one way, and now you realize, no, I wouldn't argue that way anymore. I would argue perhaps the opposite way.
I think that in this podcast, we've decided that we don't want to delve into things like politics or religion, things like that. But it's hard not to, especially a question like that. So I'm going to go the religious route here.
Okay.
And I did go to I grew up fairly traditionally in my household. I'll just say Judaism.
What does that mean, traditionally?
So in our house, Jewish household, we kept the rules of keeping a kosher home.
Yeah.
We went to synagogue every week.
Yeah.
I was educated in a Jewish day school.
Yeah.
I would call these traditional elements of being raised Jewish.
Yeah.
Other things, high holidays, the notion of giving charity, I think is a value, traditional value. So I grew up in that kind of household.
Okay.
And the school that I went to was a religious school, and we were, in no uncertain terms were we taught there is a God. Mm-hmm. God created the world in 6 days and rested. Mm-hmm. Plus a whole host of other rules and regulations and histories and stories.
I'm familiar, yeah.
When I was a kid, maybe this is just the fact of being a kid, you believe it. Yeah. You just accept what you're being told. Mm-hmm. And even, I would say, well into my adulthood, me have words.
Yeah, use your words.
So well into my adulthood, I was convinced-ish that that's still true. There's a higher being.
Yeah.
We're working towards some goal for that higher being. I don't know what that was.
Yeah.
Over time, that's changed and morphed. So that I don't know if agnostic is the right word. I'm someone who I'm willing to believe certain things if they can be proven to me.
Okay.
This is an issue that hasn't been proven to me.
Right.
So if you told me there's God, and proved it to me, whatever that means,
Yeah.
but let's just say we have a definition of proof,
Yeah.
I would be willing to accept that.
Right.
But it hasn't been proven. Okay. Faith is not a proven fact. Faith is something you have inside of yourself. And we all have that for different things.
Yeah.
But in terms of there being a higher power that rules over everything, knows our thoughts before we know them, that has changed, definitely changed over time.
Okay.
And I really didn't want to get into a religious conversation, but
you went there.
But that was the first. That's like
it's a big one.
Biggest thing, right?
It's a big one because kind of your entire identity and why things happen and our position in the world.
Yeah.
I can see how it's intimately tied to that.
Yeah, but it hasn't changed. I still feel part of a community, very much part of a community.
Yeah.
And I can compartmentalize between the God aspect of religion and the community that I consciously choose to still be a part of, because no one's forcing me. I can do anything. Yeah. So I still consciously choose to be part of a community that I grew up in, but I sort of put aside other aspects of that community that don't work for me.
Yeah. Okay.
And so that's changed for me.
Yeah. So to what do you attribute that change? Because the nature of even thinking that maybe God or the story we have about God is not true, some people don't even dare broach that in their own head, let alone actually follow it through and make a decision. Because when you believe in God, right, we could believe that God is listening to this thought and could be judging this thought. Yeah. How dare you challenge my existence, right? Like, who are you? So the nature of belief itself could make it impossible sometimes to even go through that mental and moral exercise. So how did that happen? What did you want a softball? Is that what this is about? Are we here to fix the world? You want to talk about what do you like to make for breakfast, Joel? Would you prefer that?
No. I am fully.
You're on board.
On board with this.
Good.
How or when? I can't really remember. I'll be honest with you. I can't remember. Mm-hmm. It just
not good enough.
I know. Give me a second.
Yeah, go ahead. Take all the time you need.
Yeah. So over time, as one becomes an adult, and things in your life happen, you go through changes, you go through traumas, maybe you go through amazing things that are joyful, any host of things that are on your life spectrum. You change your mind about things, you see things in a different light. I mean, it just happens to everybody, I would assume. Mm-hmm. And I'm not trying to cop out on the answer, but over time, I've just sort of like, what is this thing I'm holding on to that's never been shown to me, that's, so incredibly bizarre, that we hold on to, that I'm holding on to. And just over time, it kind of morphed into what it is now, which is, it would be nice, actually, if this is true, maybe.
Yeah.
But where's the proof?
But you have to realize that everything you described as a reason to challenge it, a lot of people, that's exactly why they lean in even more, right? Like, there's challenges, there's traumas, I'm being tested, God's only giving me what I can handle, and all the beauty, all the good stuff, right?
Yeah.
All the wonderful things. A lot of people would see that the hand of God in all of that, right? So it's not a natural...
That's the thing about faith.
Yeah. And what about faith? It was never... I don't think people who believe... I mean, some people believe that the evidence is everywhere, but a lot of people, it's a matter of faith, which is why they say never talk about it at dinner parties, because you're not talking about evidence, you're talking about faith, and that faith is really tied to our identity often, right? Like, it's not a logical argument.
No.
So when did it become a logical argument, something that was probably never designed to be a logical argument?
Well, for some people, it will never be that. Right. It will only be a discussion of faith.
Yeah.
And they will say to you, at a certain point, the discussion will have to stop.
Yeah.
I believe and you don't. And you're never going to come to a meeting of that.
Yeah.
So there is a point in that conversation that just, it ends.
Yeah.
You believe, I don't.
Well, I don't think we choose our beliefs, right? They kind of choose us, right?
Though you don't think over time you make decisions based on your experiences, based on your whole history that you are choosing? Well, because of those past experiences, etc.?
Right, but I don't think you choose any of that. You don't choose what happens.
I know.
To
We've
you.
had this conversation privately. It's a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little bit out there. Yeah, no, for sure. Okay, so that's a big change. So you started, and I know that you still do the rituals. Judaism is largely about rituals.
Yeah, and it's again when you have kids, I won't speak for anybody, but I wanted to impart on them the rituals, the history, the tradition of our people.
So how did it change how you show up in the world? Because ultimately, if you and I are gearing to fix the world, whatever ideas we have, we show up in the world with them and how we communicate with other people. And I'm guessing, don't let me put words in your mouth, but maybe your family doesn't see eye to eye on all of these beliefs. If they sent you to religious school, they don't want to hear that Joel is now questioning the...
Well, there's, my parents had different opinions on these things. My mom staunchly believes in God. Yeah. My father was like, I don't know, maybe. Yeah. But he felt it was important to believe in something. Yeah. Even though, God, I don't know, but he just felt it was important to believe in something.
Keep talking. I'm just making sure that our tech.
Yeah. And then I have siblings, and the siblings are very different. I have two that are very have a lot of faith, and I have one that is maybe even more disbelieving than I am. Yeah. But also still is a part of the community. So what was your question? How does it
affect how you show up in the world? And I imagine you got some. That belief gave you something, right? And when you
the belief before it changed,
yeah, and when you change that belief, you're fundamentally a different person now. You're going through life with a different platform or scaffolding for so many things.
I don't know that I am. I think that if I had to really dig deep in it, maybe I always questioned it. Yeah. Even though I was a kid and you're in school and you're not allowed to think anything differently. Yeah. I think there was a part of me that was always like, I don't know about this. I'm doing it and I'm okay. But as I got older, I'm like, oh, now I get to figure it out for myself. Yeah. So I think I don't think I've changed that much. I think I've had an internal monologue where I've said it to myself, oh, you don't think that anymore. Yeah. But I think it was there somewhere already. Yeah. So how does it inform what I do in the world?
Yeah. What have you lost or gained? Or maybe it's both.
I think
And what have you lost and what have you gained?
If, I can't speak for anybody, but to be a part of something where you can allow yourself to be part of it in a compartmentalized way, mm-hmm. so that this part works for me, this part doesn't. I can still be a good person in my community. I can still perform rituals that actually feel meaningful to me, mm-hmm. not because I think I'm talking to a higher power, but just because it brings me closer to my family or my heritage. I'm bringing that. It's more genuine. It's a more genuine performance of the rituals. It's a more genuine connection to my community because I'm actually wanting to do it. It's not you must do it because you will be punished for not doing it. Yeah. Yeah. This is a choice to be proactive. Yeah. So I think being genuine, true to yourself, proactive because you feel joy from it, not because you're fearful of it, that's something I can bring to it. Yeah.
And you mentioned your mom believes strongly in God. Mm-hmm. And I know your mom, and she's a cool woman. I like her a lot. How has it changed your relationship with your mom, knowing that she believes something strongly, and probably she feels you're wrong about this?
It does. When we don't have that discussion that often. When it comes up, it's not even an argument. She just doesn't waver from her thoughts, and we can agree to disagree. Yeah. And I will still go with her to synagogue, and I will still have a meal with her where we break bread and say the blessings and things like that. So it doesn't change that much. We can still connect. Like I said, I'm able to connect with her because I want to, not because it's a forced thing or a fearful thing.
So if one of your children asked you, Dad, does God exist? What would you say?
Well, at this point, they're a little bit older, my kids. Yeah. They're both teenagers, and I think being honest with them is the best policy. Had you asked me that when they were very little, I might have fudged it and not given them a whole big explanation because they're kids and let them figure it out.
Well, as a good Jew, What should we be telling kids if they ask that question?
Jeez. Hey, it's supposed to be one question.
You're right. Some license.
I can't. You know what? Honestly, these are family decisions. I can't make a general statement for everybody.
You're right.
I think little kids need structure, and if you're living in a home that has that community aspect to it, give them that structure.
Yeah.
When they grow older and they have questions and they're not sure about their own identities, then you can have more sort of open conversation about it.
Okay.
That's what I think. I will tell you one story.
Please do.
That my brother told me. He had a friend or a university roommate or something who was religious. And he went to his rabbi and asked him, he was questioning, and he asked the rabbi, is all of this stuff true? Like, are we doing anything we need to be doing here? And the rabbi said 50-50.
50.
And that makes me so mad. I feel that rabbi should have lied to him.
Yeah.
Because if he could have kept him on a certain path, and now the guy went fully off the path. And maybe that works for him, but I just feel like that rabbi should have lied.
Yeah. You should have. You're
50-50 from a rabbi.
Yeah. We need more lying rabbis. I think you're right. That's been Judaism's
That's a
problem.
rap group, no?
Yeah.
The lying rabbis?
That reminds me of a similar, I guess, joke. I don't remember exactly how it went, but somebody's asking, there's like three guys asking a rabbi, like, Rabbi, does God exist because of this, and whatever, and I think God must exist. And the rabbi says, you're right. And then the next guy says, yeah, but look at all these bad things. God, this proves that there can't be God. And he says, you're also right. And then the third guy says, but they can't both be right. Then the rabbi says, you're also right. I'm sure I butchered that, but you get it.
Yeah. Our timer isn't working, so we don't know how long we've been talking for.
About 18 minutes. I'm
okay.
looking at the other one.
Do you know that Simpsons episode where...
I never know the Simpsons references. I never know the Seinfeld ones, but
right.
Go ahead. Probably not, but maybe.
Krusty the Clown is Jewish. His father's a rabbi,
Okay.
Rabbi Kristofsky.
Yeah.
And he's very upset that his son has become a clown.
Okay.
But there's a scene...
could see that.
There's a scene where all these people are coming up to the rabbi asking him questions. One says, Rabbi, should I have a baby? And he says, yes, another baby's a blessing in your house. Rabbi, should I go back to school? Yes, education is very important. Rabbi, should I buy a Chrysler? And he goes, can you ask me a question of a more philosophical nature? He says, is it right to buy a Chrysler? He goes, oh, yes, Chryslers are great. And he gives him a whole explanation. So there's my Simpsons reference for the day.
Yeah, no, that's good. And I think with that, we are one step closer to
fixing the world. Well,
yeah.
Thanks for the question.
No,
right?
I appreciate that. Wasn't an easy one, and I think it was a very thoughtful answer. So I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hope everybody appreciated it.
Hope you do too. Don't cancel me for anything.
And we'll see you soon.
All right. See you. Take care.